My name is Pastor Isaac Shehu, Yola Area Superintendent. My place of birth is in Yauri local government in Kebbi State, Nigeria. Yauri is where we have this Raja passed through in Kebbi State. That was where I was born. Though my father come from south, and my mother is from that local government. That's why he married my mother as an Hausa woman. So, and that influences most of the things I do and the life I live in the North. Yeah, there are stories. Sincerely, at the point in time when I got to the ministry, I asked God, how comes that my father come from the south to marry my mother in the north? My mother is from Ogumosho, Oyo State, who traveled to the north and met my mother somewhere in one village called Biromasa. As a contractor, he usually buy food from her mother. There and then they met, and as God will have it, they married. And there and then, when they got married, since it's a tribal marriage, there was a lot of mockery because she gave birth to so many female. So has only one boy. So whenever she gave birth to a female, they say, you will be. So that thing became a mockery to her. And she has a Muslim background who comes to join Christianity. And that built her faith more. She went and asked God that if God should give her a male child, he's going to become God's servant. I didn't know this bargain. It was an agreement between her and God. Lo and behold, I came to life. And when I came, I was deaf and dumb. Because when they give birth to a child, the child is supposed to cry. But I was not crying. They beat, and beat, I was not crying. They pour cold water, that was not crying. So it became a trouble to her and to my father. Until the day of my naming, I couldn't cry. They only see tears coming on my eye. And then they will know that the child is crying. So after the naming, my mother said no. The child God gave to her is going to be a servant. The child cannot be done. Let's go back to the hospital. And that time the hospital doctors are European doctors, white doctors. So when they took me back to the hospital that time, after the naming, on the 9th day, that's on the 8th day, naming, 9th day, took me to the hospital. So the doctor discovered that the tongue was tied down. So they lifted the tongue and cut some part of it. And after that I was going, that was how I started talking gradually. If I want to talk, I stammer. Then the stammering was so dull that if you ask me, that was vibrating. In fact, my tongue did not loose until after I've graduated my A-level. That affected my English language in class because I failed oral in all my texts in primary school, secondary school. I failed oral because I can't speak. But they understand my issue, so they didn't bother about it. They mark all the one that I passed. That's how I grew up. Then, after some time, my mother served food in the army barrack that time. So one of the days she took me to barrack when she was backing me. I just crawled to the side bush. Then I had a snake bite on my right thumb. That snake bite, it was physical snake bite, but it was spiritual because since that time, my leg didn't work. My mother cried, pray. She said, the child she begged God should be a servant of God. Why should the child now not work? That became a problem. She kept praying. One day, because my father was a Baptist, so they usually hold service go to church, Baptist church for services. So sometimes ago, the Apostolic Church get to that town, that Yauri, where we are. So where they are worshiping collapsed. Then the news come to my father. Then my father gave them a room in our house. That's where Apostolic Church are holding their services. And parents will just pass them, go to their Baptist church for service, come back, sometimes meet them, sometimes meet them. One day, that Apostolic Church members, when they are holding service during the time of about Oyelese, came from Zulu that time to come and establish church in Yaoundé. So, in their tarry meeting on Wednesday evening, prophecy came out that they should go and carry the child of the landlord and pray for him. In that evening, they beckoned to my mother. My mother brought me. They prayed for me. Then she took me back. Nothing happened that moment. She took me back. The following morning, when my sisters are gone to school, my mother was making a akamu, what they will eat in breakfast. So she was backing my younger sister. My younger sister was even working while she was still backing. She was still working, but I was not working. I was lying down there. So I crawled from the bed from inside room, came outside, held the door, and stood for the very first time in my life. Then I said, Mama, Mama, Mama. She turned back with amazement because she expected that I should be lying down inside. But I told her that in SHEHU'S. That was what I told her. So, being a Muslim, when she came to the church, God gave her that gift of singing. And mother composes even Yoruba song, which is not her language. So there and then she began to sing. Oh, SHEHU'S Vawa, oh for rese, oh for rese, oh for you rese, oh for rese. That was how she kept singing. Then that moment, then I left the door. I started walking towards her. Walking towards her. She was very without excitement. She wanted to carry me. I dodged. I started walking. That was how I started walking. So that amazement made her to go and tell me. When my father came back, she told him that, look, me, I've seen my church. You can be going to your church. This is my own church. She stopped going to Baptist. From that day, she joined Apostolic Church. So gradually, my sisters were persuaded. They joined Apostolic Church. Before we know, because my father was a deacon in Baptist, so he cannot leave easily. So it took him lengthy time before he can gather himself to join us in Apostolic. That was how later he joined Apostolic. That was how he became Apostolic Church members.
My calling, a pastor's story.
The nature of my experience in birth and growth affected my academics because I didn't go to school on time. Okay, I went to school lately because I could not talk and the issue of walking. So I started primary school lately. I could remember that I finished primary school in 1984. So 1984, 83, 84, I joined secondary school. 85, 86, yes. So I finished secondary school 89, 1989. From there I went to Sokoto for a job hunting while I was working. Meanwhile, when I was a child, I love engineering, particularly the lightning. So I love it. I put glue together, put batteries together. I give us lights. Lights were very scarce where we are. So I give lights in the house. There and then, my father usually called me an engineer. So that's thinking to my mind. I kept that memory in mind, engineer. So meanwhile, that engineering entered my mind. I grew with that passion for an engineer. To the extent that I took myself to roadside mechanic. Yes, roadside mechanic. I learned motorcycle mechanic that time. Instead of I go for the wire, but I didn't know because that engineer was on my mind. So I learned roadside mechanic. Then and then I learned for some times. When my elder brother came back, because I was only fair boy among my siblings, all the rest were, they looked that as my father, but I remember my mother, I fair. So when you are learning mechanics, the clothes will be very dirty. He came back and saw me. He kept crying. Like, why should he allow me to go and learn that? He said he didn't know when I started learning because I just took passion for it. In fact, after school, I just disappear in the house. I'll go and learn. The master pushed me to bring my parents. I didn't bring my parents because I know that nobody will follow me to that place. But I was just to go there. So learning that now, when I finished secondary school, I had to leave Yaori for Sokoto. Yaori was formerly under Sokoto State, but later the state was divided into three, now for Sokoto and Kebbi. So we became under Kebbi State, but we were under Sokoto State. I went to Sokoto for job hunting. There and there I was working with a company called Costain West Africa. And they have a construction company. They are constructing a general hospital in Sokoto. So I worked with them there. They were lucky. The work I got there was in accounts department. So I started as a checker, as a timekeeper. So I checked the workers. After I graduated to become a wages clerk with them. It was there I was when I got admission in Polytechnic, then in Kebbi, at Kebbi State Polytechnic then. Now it's Federal Polytechnic. So there I went for mechanical engineering course. So having finished that OND, I came back home. Meanwhile, when I was doing the course, I was about graduating. Then the impression was on me because my mother usually remind me, hey, whatever you become, you do God's work. She kept reminding me, every now and then. Her discussion will not end up with that reminding me of that work. That is God's work I'm going to do. That thing I came worry me, and that helped my Christian life. It helped my Christian life. Because whatever I'm doing, the memory is thinking in my head that you become a servant of God. So that servant of God has sink into my head every now and then. It helped my life when I was in A level. When I was about graduating, so very close to our graduation time, the student president, that time we were under NIFES, we don't know tax from them, just NIFES. So the student president said, God said we should fast marathon. That was the first time I even heard it. I never heard it before. That I should carry the fasting to the next day. I said I will try it. I will try it. So I just gave myself to it that we should have 9 vigil in between. So we came, we held the service, we held the fellowship, we closed around 4. Everybody went back to their hostel. I didn't go because where I stay is very far from the school premises, so I have to sleep in the hall. You know, my stammering was there, very tense, because when I was in a lecture hall, if you greet me, the only thing I answer you is good morning. From good morning, I don't answer you. I don't answer anything. Because before I talk, I will stammer, and I don't want you to laugh at me. If you laugh at me, I'll be angry. So instead of talking much, causing wahala for myself, I'll just keep quiet. Good morning, good morning. So that night, having lied down there, I just felt something on my touching my neck. I became afraid. I left the school. Even around 5 a.m. when they are calling Allah Akbar, that prayer, early morning prayer. So I just walked down to my room, my house. I walked into my room. I enter my room. I lie down. The thing continue. Like somebody is doing like this in my neck. When that thing happened, I will feel like throwing up. I'll come and spit out. I'll go back to lie down. Let me tell you, because I've never done marathon before. 8 o'clock, I'm looking at time. 9 o'clock, when it is time, I say, God, God, you have seen your child. My brethren, that was how God healed my stammering. That was how my stammering healed. When I discovered that I can talk, the first person I should tell is my mother. That weekend, I took permission. I want to go home. I went home to cry my mother. That was how I started talking normal. That you can hear me now. That's number one phase of my healing. Where I started talking very well, that you can hear me. If not, before I talk here, you have gone to my 12th market and come back before I finish one statement. But that's how God healed me. And ever since then, I didn't have that experience again.
My calling, a pastor's story.
Apart from good morning, I don't talk to anybody. The lecturers know that they don't ask me questions. Even my teachers from secondary school, they knew they don't ask me much questions because they know that I cannot talk. There was a time I had one teacher, he asked me a question. He said, if the 20 is kakari, I'll put outside there. He thought it is the English that's my problem. He said, if the English is hooking me, I should put outside. You know, if the 20 is kakari, I'll put outside there. So that's how they mock me and laugh me. So ever since then, they don't ask me questions because they know I cannot talk. And God helped me. Every exam they write, I pass. That's what amazed them most. Or it's only order that they know that I cannot talk. Yes, that was I love God. Why I say I love God is that God used that to tame my life. Because I discovered that as a handsome boy, that would have been an avenue for me to live a useless life. But that has tamed me. I cannot communicate. So I find it difficult to even relate. Then my sisters became my friend. The only friend I have. If a friend even come looking for me for answer, they don't allow you. So it helped my Christian life. It tamed me. I'm not fully born again, but I didn't know because I didn't know Christ. But how I got to know Christ was amazing. I came back from one of the semester break. I just carried my Bible. I said I want to read Revelation because I just studied book by book that time. So I said I want to study Revelation. That was how I started. I started studying Revelation. Any chapter, I read it chapter by chapter, each chapter, one chapter. So when I read one chapter, God give me revelation about that thing I read. To the extent that when you get to hell, I saw how hell was. There are no bulungu inside hell. Yes, they walk me through the hell fire. So the moment I read the chapter, God will give me revelation about it. That was how I fully give myself to God. When I went and told my pastor, he told me that nothing wrong, that God wanted me fully. And that was how I surrendered my life. That was how I was baptized. You know, at the point I heard that as a yardstick, that hey, my mother who told God, I didn't tell God I want to. Then one day, we were praying. When I joined the ministry, that was when the story started. When God spoke to me here, that and corrected me. Because I was saying, leverage on that was my mother who communicated me. Then, now that time before, they said don't need certificate in the ministry. If you have pali, keep it aside. They say keep it aside. They'll just come while you are. I went to the church without carrying anything. At the point, come, they say I have to go to Bible college. Then they need my credentials. Then I sent for my younger sister home to send my credentials to me. Then when he said that time I saw phone, so she sent it. She gave a driver where I stood waiting for the driver to come. The driver came and passed. He didn't know. I didn't see him. That was how the thing got missing. Then I went back and started crying. I said, is that what you called me for? You come into the ministry now, and now I'm in the ministry now. I want to go. Then God spoke to me that the person through whom the credentials got missing, through the person the credentials will come back. Then he warned me that I should stop saying my mother communicated me. He is the one who called me. God said he was the one who called me. No, my mother already agreed with his will. But he was the one who called me to the ministry. And he had to do his bidding in the ministry. Yeah, there's so many revelations. But my own very funny. Well, the first revelation I saw was that I saw myself singing, because all those years I cannot sing. My younger brother can sing. You know the way apostles sing song, Mama Leonie. My younger brother can do that. They can sing, but I cannot sing. I can only beat congo for them, or beat drum for them. That's how I was following them. And I was so, God really humbled me. I was following my younger brother. I didn't show them that I'm older than them. No, I only correct them when I want to misbehave. I was in choir, but I cannot sing in choir. They only beat drum for them in choir. So what really happened was that at a point in time, now, when I could not sing, I saw myself with microphone. I was talking. Is this why microphone? I was going up and down, picking on microphone, up and down, picking on microphone. I don't really know what I was saying, but I was talking on microphone, walking up and down like this. Then that was when the pastor told me, my pastor that I relate now, told me that it's really the call of God upon my life.
My calling, a pastor's story.
You know, as a child, you know, I had serious argument with God. When I graduated, after that experience, then I graduated, I came back home. I was looking for a job, I couldn't get a job. Then the tension of Isholua, work of God. Then I told God that I want to work so that the world will see that I'm not lazy. It's not lazy because in those years, there are somebody who joined the ministry, they term me as lazy men, doesn't work. So that they are the one who does God's work. So I said no. God, I now pray to God that if God will allow me to work and the world will see that I'm not lazy, I will join the ministry. And what happened was that time I was on prayers. I usually pray, if I want to pray, like I usually pray marathon prayers, maybe 3 days, I will leave my home, I'll come to the church. Only pastor will know my whereabouts. And I have living with him, he's in London, he's one of the superintendents. He was at this apostle at that time. Only he will know my whereabouts. I'll be in the church compound, in the church hall. When they come for me, I will run to the vestry. I will hide in the vestry. After they left, I'll come back to the church. So I was on that 3 days prayers. I didn't tell my mother where I was. She was even worried of my whereabouts. So the 10th day that the prayer will end, so I didn't stay in vestry that time. I joined the evening service. Lo and behold, because my mother was a prophetical channel, you know this. So within the 3rd meeting, then prophecy came out. I was lying down, you know, men's side, this side. So I was lying down there at the corner of the church. Then prophecy came out. My servant, what you are asking me, if I give you, will you obey my will? He was saying in Yoruba. And I was lying down there and I was answering in my mind. I was telling God, giving God my own condition.